Ask yourself the damn question. Is winning the only thing to you?
Sports today are not just played on the field. They're played every day, online, all over the world, by sports fans just like you.
Don't you dare breathe. That won't get you anywhere. If you don't think you're a winner, you don't belong here.
The Star Fantasy League Show puts you in control of your own team. Find out who to sit, who to start, how to play, and have your daily fantasy sports questions answered with your host, Jonathan Sprung, and co-host SFL CEO Zach Stanley and Nick Steblenko. The Star Fantasy League Show is on the air now.
Hello and welcome to the Star Fantasy League Show here in Rochester, New York on 105.5 The Team. I am your interim host, Zach Stanley. Jonald is out today.
That's okay.
I don't know where he is. Do you know where he is?
I don't think we have a problem with that.
I think he's in Yemen or something.
Yemen?
Maybe.
Traveling to Yemen?
He's stalking Zach Braff.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. He's taking pictures with Zach Braff. I don't know if
apparently
Zach Braff is okay with that.
Zach Braff also called him the creepiest human being he's ever seen.
Is that true?
According to Jonald, actually.
That's probably justified.
It might have been his hair, I think, possibly.
What hair?
Well, that hair in the hair in the front.
I'm playing.
So we've got a great show today. Of course, as always, we're going to be talking a lot about baseball, but there is a very big game coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, no, my heart's already pounding. My heart's racing. USA all the way.
And it was an exciting weekend of soccer. The World Cup has just been fantastic. Game after game, we've had some penalty kicks. We've had some ties. We've had tons of stuff going on, some questionable calls. It's about as good as I've seen over the last several years, and the enthusiasm in the United States has been just remarkable.
Well, I think this is probably the most enthusiastic, the most invested that our country has been in soccer in a very long time, if ever, because let's just face it, soccer is not our sport. That's not what we do. It's something, but we're the United States, and we love to win at every sport. So it's just on par.
You know what we also love is shootouts, and there's already been two,
yeah,
which is one more than last year in this round.
Do you think we have a shot if there really is a shootout here? I mean, we're not known for scoring. I don't know if I like it.
I think anything can happen.
Of
I
course
think that's
anything can
already
happen.
been proven. The Costa Rica game was unbelievable because they played so many minutes with only 10 men, managed to get through the overtime period and squeak out in the shootout. Just unbelievably fun to watch. I can't wait to see what's next.
We'll see what happens.
And today we will be doing some of our tiers as we usually do on Monday. We will be going over the 3 different tiers of pitchers that we have set up. It's 3, right, Nick?
Yes, there's 3.
Okay. Why don't you start it off with Tier 1?
Okay, well, Tier 1 is $15,000 and up on StarFantasyLeagues.com. In this tier today, we have Corey Kluber at the Dodgers, Jake Arrieta at Boston, Garrett Richards at the White Sox, and Colin McHugh versus Seattle at home. I don't know. There's a couple of really good names, a couple of guys that have they've really stepped up this year, particularly Corey Kluber. I don't really like that matchup for him. In this one, I got to look at Colin McHugh against Seattle. Seattle has not been strong as of late. They had one really good game against Boston over the weekend. Other than that, they've kind of been falling off. And Colin McHugh, he's kind of proven doesn't really matter who he goes up against.
Yeah, I think there might be a typo on this. Tier 1,
yeah?
Jake Arrieta. How did he get up there?
Oh, jeez.
How did he get up to number 1 tier?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've kind of been saying it for a while. I don't know why he is the 5th pitcher in that rotation. I really don't. That doesn't make any sense.
That's crazy. He's 16,000.
I know.
But that was actually the name that stuck out to me as well. I can't believe that he is up that high, but you're still thinking McHugh, which is the most valuable of the bunch.
Well, yeah, he has the lowest price. The only thing about Arrieta is, yeah, he's kind of a surprise getting up there. The other thing, Boston just comes off of facing the Yankees, where I feel, you know what, they kind of got the bats going just a little bit, especially last night. And you never know, because when David Ortiz starts hitting in that lineup, it just seems to get everybody else going. So I'm going to wait and see, because Chicago's nothing special.
You know, I was going to say I'm extremely surprised, given obviously Twitter has advanced a lot in the last 4 years, how much ESPN has been posting about the World Cup. But you've been doing some posting over the weekend about your Boston Red Sox.
Well, yeah, just a little bit. I mean, they stepped it up. They got the job done against the Yankees.
Bordering on gloating.
Oh, is that what it is? Are we still sore about last year? Is that what it is? Let's face it, Boston has been terrible so far this year. They've been really bad. 7.5 games back, almost approaching the All-Star break. That's not where they want to be.
And you
still
have them making the playoffs, though.
I'm not. I can't. You can't You can't say that. I think that if they
we
get
had a big argument
going,
earlier in the year about that when I said I didn't think they were going to make it.
I think they should be able to make it, but it depends. They have to get their bats going up and down the order. Mookie Betts is coming in. Hopefully he'll be able to provide some offense. And like I said, when Ortiz gets the bat going, this whole lineup top to bottom can actually start picking it up. They have something to go off of.
Well, I'm definitely not touching Arrieta at that price.
No.
I'm looking at Garrett Richards for the Angels.
Right.
He only allowed 4 runs in 5 June starts. And averaging a strikeout per inning in June, so he's really turned it around. He started out great. He had a little lull in the
he's
May,
fantastic.
But
I mean,
yeah, he's definitely come back.
Everything I've heard a number of times that this kid has great stuff. He should be able to get the job done against anybody. So
yeah,
I like it.
Up against the White Sox, even though they're decent against right-handed pitching, I still think he gets the job done.
I just get nervous with Abreu. 25 home runs. The guy's killing it right now.
I know.
He just makes me nervous.
Okay.
Right.
Well, we're going to move on to Tier 2 right now, and we're going to start off the top of the list talking a little bit about Jason's boys in Oakland as Scott Kazmir goes up against the Detroit Tigers.
We got a little matchup here.
Yeah, we got a little inter-office matchup, which is always
Tigers-A's.
exciting.
Yeah.
Not that we
Not in
haven't
the
seen that
postseason.
before. Yeah.
It's not exciting for me in the postseason.
No.
The last couple of years.
Well, exciting, but not
Yes.
fulfilling.
Letdown.
Right. Okay. All right.
Either way,
so
yeah.
what are we looking at? I'm guessing you guys aren't eyeing that Kazmir matchup or Sanchez, perhaps.
No, I think that's one to stay away from. There's a lot of offense in that, and I think there's a lot of other names in this tier that you need to give a look to before then.
Are you surprised at Sanchez's price, though? That's pretty good. That's a pretty good price for the way that he's been putting out. Had a little bit of a rough start last game, but
Well, he was also injured for a little bit there, but I'd say that's about his value right now. So
I would
14,000.
agree. Yeah. 13 in the 13 range. I mean, he's right on kind of the top end of Tier 2.
Yeah.
So he always has that potential to jump up into the lower reaches of Tier 1, but right now, not in this matchup. This isn't it.
Yep. I like Matt Latos
My boy, I like
for
him too.
Cincinnati. He's going up against his former team. They're dead last in the majors against right-handed pitching.
Against everybody and everything.
Pretty much.
They're horrible.
Yeah.
wait, so you don't like the Padres bats at all?
No.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
This game's also in San Diego as well, which is a great pitcher's park.
Yep.
Another guy I like is making his first start of the year tomorrow is Taijuan Walker for Seattle.
Really?
This guy's got huge potential. He had a shoulder injury last year. He missed most of the year. He's had 6 games started at AAA RD. He had a shutout his last one out. I think he's ready to go against the Astros tomorrow.
But what do you think, though, about guys when they just come back? This is his first start. You just said it. Don't you? I feel like you got to wait. You don't want to wait on this one?
Well, as I said, he's had 6 starts at AAA, so I think he's up to game speed. This guy's got huge potential. He's a flamethrower. He's got great stuff, especially going against the Astros. They strike out a ton as well.
Yeah, that's true.
What about the dealer?
I was going to say I was waiting for you to bring him up.
We all know that Atlanta loves to whiff.
Yeah.
This isn't a bad matchup for him. It's certainly not against some of the top bats of the league. We've seen him struggle against. He had a bad last start, which we talked about against Oakland, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what do you think? You know I love the name except for the K.
He's your
I
boy.
don't like the K.
He is
Yeah,
your boy.
he is my boy.
You
I
take
think
him every
Wheeler's your
time.
boy.
He is my boy, but we didn't see a heavy drop off after that last bad start.
Well, I think that was his last start, but yeah, he got torched in 2 innings.
That's what I'm saying. We didn't see his salary didn't change much from that last start.
It dropped. Well, it dropped a little bit because he did get lit up. I mean, 10,000 is right around where he's been hanging most of the year. And Atlanta, like you said, they do love to strike out against right-handed pitchers. So the matchup is right. It's definitely good to go. I think that if you reach down a little bit further, you might be able to find something in Tier 3.
Okay, but Tier 2, you guys are both looking at Latos?
Oh yeah, Latos is
Okay.
the boy.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to Tier 3. Tell me what you're looking at. Any of these guys down here in that 5,000? We got 3 guys at 4,500 tomorrow. Is there any way you guys are starting any of them?
No, one of them deserves to be there for his entire life. Joe Saunders. Joe Saunders deserves to get picked against him. Baltimore is ripe for the picking in this matchup.
Yeah,
this is just going to be great.
You definitely can stack the Orioles tomorrow.
Big time.
Right-handed bats against the lefty.
Oh yeah.
Isn't there somebody else that they can put in there for him?
No, Texas's rotation is pretty brutal up and down.
Yeah, they've had a ton of injuries this year. I don't feel bad for them. No. That's for sure.
They had their chance.
Are you friends with Ian Kinsler on Twitter? Is that,
Friends?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're boys. No.
Your boys?
No,
yeah.
I'm not.
Because Ian Kinsler gave a little wave when he hit a home run against Texas last week. That was great.
Yeah, he had a huge series against them.
Yeah, big time.
Loved
big
it.
time.
Yeah, we all saw how the Prince Fielder trade worked out. He's on the schneid right now.
Yeah.
And, all right, so the lower guys, not really liking them. Who else are we looking at?
I like Alex Wood against the Mets, actually.
Yeah, that's not a bad one.
He got called back up his last start. Mets are 19th against left-handed pitching. He had a great start, though. His last one out, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 walk, no runs. It was against Houston, but Houston's pretty decent against lefties, so he's got a good chance to have a good game tomorrow.
Yeah, I like that one. The other one I like, I just love picking against the Cubs. I love picking against the Cubs, and I know PV isn't a good – he doesn't have a high ceiling, okay? So we know that at 8,100, that's probably a pretty good price for him. I think he's kind of one of those guys that can grind it out, get deep into the game. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw like 6 1/3, 6 2/3 from him, and then he actually controls the score a little bit. If he gets 4 or 5 points, I think you're going to be happy with that. And I think it's very possible against the Cubs.
Bulldog.
What?
That's his nickname.
Bulldog PV? I mean, he can really bowl his, he can really just grind his way through a start. He can figure it out.
Talk about how he has like a lot of life left or something, longevity. I think he said something like that.
He said that himself. I wouldn't be surprised if that was true. He could definitely go for a couple more years.
He's the type of guy that has had a long career and has been able to acclimate and still at least remain relevant later in his career.
I mean, it's obviously it depends on who he's facing. If he's facing a really hot lineup, like if he were to go up against Detroit, he doesn't have a prayer. He's not going to make it out of 4 innings.
I noticed your boy is starting tomorrow, Noesi.
I'm not going
the
there.
Angels.
I'm not going there. I'm done. I'm done with
So
him.
you're not going to take him or the Angels?
Nope.
Not
I'm
touching
done.
it.
This is finally over.
Did you stack against him last time out?
Yep. And it didn't go well.
Really?
It didn't.
I think I encouraged him to do that too.
I'm done.
I think I
I'm
heard
done.
that.
It's not right. It's not in the cards. It's not written in the stars. There's nothing good about it. It just doesn't work.
Maybe you could really help him out by just continuing to pick the
so I'm
bats
supposed to help him instead of him helping
I don't
me? It's
know,
supposed to be a
maybe-
mutually beneficial relationship.
Maybe
is
if
it
you
not?
call him and tell him we can get him on the show or something.
Hector.
I don't even know if he's,
Hector, my boy.
I don't know if he can speak English,
Well, that's not going to help.
but maybe.
Well, you're pushing it.
Okay.
You're pushing
Well, all right. So Noesi is off the books for Nick for the entire rest of the season.
Everybody else can pick him. Go ahead. It's
right.
going to work for everyone else.
Are you looking at the Angels?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I love the Angels.
I know what's going to happen, okay? I'm not going to take anybody from the Angels. He's going to do terribly.
Don't you feel like this is the type of thing where you should just keep doing the same thing
Keep
until
failing and just going for
I feel
insanity?
you were flip-flopping a little bit, didn't you?
No, what? What are you talking
Well,
about?
every time you don't pick him.
Well, I'm sure that's what's going to happen.
All right, so you guys are going against, shockingly, the Padres, the Cubs, and the Mets.
That's usually the way it goes.
That's usually the way it goes, yeah.
All right, coming back up, we are going to be talking with Jose from Fantasy Goal. These guys have been running some World Cup games over on their site. It's going to be exciting. We're going to talk some World Cup with them. And you are listening to the Star Fantasy League show on 105.5 The Team.
The Star Fantasy League Show. Information is key to being a successful fantasy team owner, and the guys have all the updated info you need right now. Okay, fantasy sports fans.
There's a letter in your mailbox.
Time to dig into Donald's mailbag for your questions and comments.
Read the mail, read the mail, read the mail.
Jump in the game. Send your questions and comments to the Star Fantasy League's team by tweeting at SFL Show.
That's right. You can tweet us at SFL Show anytime you want on Twitter. We love to hear what you have to say. Back here with Nick and Jason. Jason, who's become quite a mainstay on the show. It's very nice, isn't it?
Yes,
Nick?
he has. He has filled in quite nicely, and he drops the knowledge every single day.
He is a baseball man. I can't tell you how impressed I've been with what he has to say over the course of the season.
Very beneficial.
We have a special guest today, Jose from Fantasy Goal, who is a partner site of ours, running some awesome soccer games from the World Cup. Welcome, Jose.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for
here.
being all the way from Guatemala.
Yeah, seriously. That's a heck
Here
of a
visiting
trek.
the Star Fantasy League's office
Here to
in
Rochester. I love it, yeah.
What a privilege.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about Fantasy Goal, how you got started, what you guys have been doing.
Okay, perfect. So Fantasy Goal is a website dedicated exclusively to soccer, where you can play daily and weekly contests. You can play for free and also for cash prizes.
I noticed that he called it soccer, by the way. Is it you actually go with soccer, or is it football?
Well, for us the Latinos, it's football.
football. Yeah.
And I noticed the site is spelled Goal, G-O-L. What is the deal with that?
Well, actually for us it's goal.
That's goal.
So-
I thought it was like goal, like with 20 L's after an exclamation point. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the World Cup so far. going over the big game tomorrow that we're all excited about. I know that you have a Clint Dempsey jersey that you're going to be wearing, which I found out very exciting.
I do have it. Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. So the question we have here, our first question in the King Stanislaus mailbag and other fun tidbits, is U.S. soccer head coach Jurgen Klinsmann told reporters on Friday that he was very optimistic about Josie Altidor's chances to return for Tuesday's match versus Belgium. If available, do you start Altidore in this situation?
If I were Jurgen, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think he will be available. I think he's a good add to a team. They need a forward, but just coming back for an injury, I don't think I will use it like a starter. And thinking, well, my prediction is, I told you, Zach, it's 1-1. So I believe they are going to extra time. So I will use Josie for the second or maybe in the extra times.
So do you bring him in early in the second half, late in the second half?
Well,
are you just really kind of holding him on?
Yeah, it will depend on the result.
Yeah.
So
Depends on where they are?
You think it has more to do, what the decision will end up being will have more to do with the chemistry of the team or his ability to play for a long period of time?
I will say chemistry with the team. Yeah.
Okay. So we know they're going up against Belgium. We know that Belgium is the second youngest team in this tournament. They did pretty well. They were actually very impressive during their group stage. What do we have to look for in this team? I mean, because you got to remember, we're from America. This is not our sport. This is not our first sport, at least. I got to say, this is the first time that everybody's really been on the train. So what do you think that we need to expect out of Belgium? What do we need to do to beat them?
Okay, Belgium, as you said, they did pretty good in the group stage. I do believe their group was a little bit easier than the U.S. one.
He said it, not me. He said it.
Of course it was. Our group was nearly impossible, and we got through.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've just reading some news, and actually Belgium has 4 injured players.
Okay.
And actually one of their midfielders, it's a star. It's Fellaini.
Okay.
The guy with the hair?
Yeah, with the afro hair.
Oh, the big fro? Yeah, okay, yeah.
I don't think he's going to be ready for tomorrow.
Okay.
So, and actually they have Vincent Kompany, who is the main defender. He's also injured. And I don't think, maybe U.S. can take advantage of that. And I do believe the U.S. will win it.
Oh, I like it. I like it. We got the confidence of somebody not from America.
Now, how does a player with that head of hair make a quality header?
Well, actually, he scored a goal.
Yeah, I know.
I think it was
maybe
in the second game.
Maybe he uses it to his advantage. I don't know. So who do you like to win this whole thing? Who are you looking at as the team to beat coming down the stretch here?
Okay, if the question is who do I like, I would say Brazil. However, I think the final will be Germany against Netherlands.
Okay. Now, I'm actually not surprised he said that. The Netherlands, they've impressed me. Robin and Van Persie on the front end there, those two guys could score. It almost seems like they score at will.
Well, yeah, actually, they almost got disqualified yesterday.
Yeah.
But, yeah, as you said, he scored a goal, and then he had the penalty. So, yeah, I think that will be the final.
I just think that has to be an enormous advantage. Now, we watched Germany. We watched what they could do to the U.S. squad. They control the ball very, very well.
Absolutely. However, if you look at all the stats, there's no team other than American teams that have won it in America. So that will be a surprise if Germany against Netherlands go to a final and one of them win it. It's going to be the first time.
Van Persie, actually, 6 elimination matches so far in his career, no goals. So he's going to need to show up.
Very true.
As we go forward,
Very
I think
true.
if they're going to end up getting in the final.
Always beneficial to have him in a PK situation. So.
Yep.
Jose, thank you very much for coming on. Very excited to see what Fantasy Goal is going to be doing in the future, and we appreciate a little football knowledge.
Yeah, I think that insight is something that we Americans need. That we need that. So thank you so much. We appreciate that.
No, thank you. And
Okay.
go USA.
Go USA. All right. Turning back to baseball now, we have another question in the King Stanislaus mailbag. Clayton Kershaw, what can you say, extended his career-best scoreless streak to 28 innings on Sunday as part of a 6-0 June featuring a .82 ERA, 4 runs in 44 innings, and 61 strikeouts. Even though it's only June, is Kershaw's third NL Cy Young Award looking more and more like an assumption?
How is he doing what he's doing? Okay, He throws a no-hitter, then he comes back and throws, 8 scoreless innings, and then this one he just goes 13 Ks. I mean, it's mind-blowing. And I know it's in the National League. Jason, you and I have actually discussed this just a little bit. How the NL is obviously just a little bit easier to pitch in. That's no secret. But, yeah, he looks like he's really rocking right now. He's locking it up. Now he's the highest-priced player on our site as well. And he just shot right up the board in the past month.
Yeah, 28 straight innings. It's pretty crazy. He's getting up there to Oral Hershiser territory with a scoreless streak. Another former Dodger. But, yeah, definitely pitching the NL helps, I think, quite a bit. He doesn't have to face the DH. But he's been facing some pretty good teams, and he's still kicking ass there.
He had that rough start near the end of May, and since then – and actually, I think the last Cy Young that he won was that 2012? Or did he win – last year?
I think he won last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last year he went on one of those similar runs where he had a tough game early on and then just went on an absolute tear. But this has been by far been his most impressive. It just seems like he's a guy that can't be stopped.
And the thing that helps, especially from a fantasy perspective, is his ability to control and go deep into games. He can keep his pitch count down. He can get into the 8th inning, and that's what you need because you get points for each batter that he gets out. And, we've talked about a guy like Steven Strasburg who's been hanging around like 14,000 because he can't go over 7 innings. He goes in 6 innings, and that's it. They take him out. They have complete confidence in this guy. They're just throwing him silly. It's unbelievable to watch. He can literally go for as long as he needs to.
And his resurgence here has really helped the Dodgers climb back up the standings. They looked like they were
goodness.
out of it. The Giants had a huge lead.
Yep.
And now
still
it's getting
extremely
closer.
young, too.
Yep, he is.
He's got a bright future still ahead of him. All right. We're going back to this, guys. Miami's big 3 have all officially opted out of their contracts. The Heat are now enjoying $55 million in cap space and a possible restructuring for LeBron, Wade, and Bosh to pad their supporting cast.
Cool.
What is the percentage chance of them coming back together again?
I think it's 100%. I really do. I mean, they're when all 3 of them did it. Now they're just putting on a pony show.
And we know that they met together.
Yeah, they did what they did so that they could all re-sign with the team. I don't think that the money has anything to do with it anymore. I think they're obviously going to push to make sure that they're making the money that they can, but they're not going to be making $30 million a year, and they know that from their contracts. Now, where are they going to make money? In shoe deals, apparel, and endorsements and sponsors and all sorts of stuff like that. They know they can make money.
I don't think you can say it's not about the money. It's all about the money with those 3 guys. LeBron's going to get the max. That's for sure.
I guess let me rephrase that. My point is that it's not all about the money source, where the money comes from. It's going to be there no matter what they do. Their brand is enormous, the 3 of them. Yeah. It's enormous.
Yeah, Wade's got that little blue towel thing, the cooling towel. So he's really racking it up with that.
You've
seen that?
I know, yeah, he's something else.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really cool.
Yeah, but
I have one.
LeBron's going to get the max.
I don't.
I think Bosh is going to get maybe like $5 million less, so he's going to take a cut. Wade's probably going to take the biggest cut, even though he's probably going to whine about it, since he was the original guy there.
But do you think they even do that? I mean, because then all of a sudden, then the chemistry is automatically thrown off because now it's, well, I'm not worth as much as LeBron. Why don't I get the LeBron money? It's like, they're all a bunch of whiny babies, and we know that.
If those 2 guys don't take lower contracts, I think LeBron's out. I think he's fine.
Okay, that's a good point.
I think he's gone.
Yeah,
that's
the way that they played, especially if Dwayne Wade's playing half of season, he shouldn't be getting the money
Totally
that he was
agree.
getting.
I could not agree more.
All right, we're going to squeeze in one more quick question here regarding the Brooklyn Nets, who picked up 2 second-round picks from Milwaukee in exchange for the services of Coach Jason Kidd. Who is the winner in this whole thing, and do you even care?
The Brooklyn Nets are the winners. Are you kidding? Well, I never understand why people trade for a coach. I get, Doc Rivers is a great coach, and he got traded out to the Clippers. So, I guess I understand that, but the Clippers at least had a team. They
that
at least
actually
had players.
makes a little bit of sense, and I think we've seen that it kind of brought them to the next level, too.
Yeah, but so that I get, but Milwaukee?
And
for
Kidd?
Kidd?
It's only his second year out of the actually playing. He's only coached 1 year. This is ridiculous.
And what's it like being Larry Drew, not knowing if your current job is stable or not? You get fired, but you get fired because your team traded for another coach when they already had one.
Yeah.
It's absolutely brutal. I agree. I think that the Nets lucked out on this one. I think the days with Jason Kidd were very much numbered. They didn't want anything to do with him anymore. which I'm not shocked about. I didn't see anything impressive out of him. I saw him drive away Lawrence Frank is what I saw happen.
But he also got to work with some other veteran players in Garnett and Pierce, and he got to actually have that veteran presence in the locker room to assist him. Now he's going to Milwaukee where it's a completely new ball game. We're talking about these guys were so bad last year that nobody could coach them and actually make them into a playoff team. They need a lot of pieces. I think it's a heck of a lot easier to find a coach than it is to find talent.
Yeah, and Kidd, he asked to be more involved in the player personnel decisions. That's why he got the boot. That's why they tried to look for the trade.
He was hoping he was going to become president of operations.
Yeah, GM as well.
Trying to pull Phil Jackson in his second year.
Yeah, he was.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah, newsflash, Jason Kidd has an absolutely enormous ego right now.
Hey.
But good luck.
Smart move by the Nets. Smart move by Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, we'll see how much fun he has with Jabari Parker. Yes. All right, I'd like to thank Jose from Fantasy Golf for coming on. That was absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to Team USA tomorrow. We'll be back talking MLB Tuesday here on 105.5 The Team, and you are listening to the Star Fantasy League show.
Play fantasy sports for cash prizes. Join the top daily and weekly fantasy leagues in the country at starfantasyleagues.com. Now, back to the Star Fantasy League show with Jonathan, Zach, and Nick. Only on The Team.
No, Jonathan is not here. He is out today. I think he has a Liz Frank injury.
Liz Frank injury?
Yeah.
Can't hobble in.
We've got Jason here and Nick. Jason, I'd like to thank you. I was able to go to the NBA draft last week. I ended up becoming very ill, which forced me to leave. But I did get to see the 2 Celtics picks, which were nice. I thought they made some reasonable selections.
Yeah, we talked about it on the show. I think that they were the winners of that draft. I really do.
I wouldn't go that far, but
come on.
I think Rondo's a loser. He's out of town now. They're shipping him out. He's gone.
Are you sure?
He's gone.
Okay. All right. Hey, if that's what you have to say, I don't think Jason knows that much about basketball.
I think
fine.
he's delirious, but that's okay.
All right. We are going to be talking some MLB Tuesday. Pretty big slate coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Pretty solid. Lots to look at. Lots to talk about. Got to give the tips to everybody. Again, if you have a question about baseball or something that you just want to talk about during the King Stanislaus mailbag tomorrow, please tweet us at SFL Show, and we will be here to answer it for you.
It is Food Tuesday, after all, and if you would like to submit some food.
I had a garbage plate yesterday.
Well, where was it from?
Rochester Hots.
Yeah.
We should discuss that tomorrow.
We went to 3 different locations.
Really?
Yeah, so.
In one day?
You ended up finding one, and for the rest of the day, I was injured.
Did you complete the 24-hour plate challenge?
No, but I did tell him about that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We hear about it every time that Jason has a plate.
I think we're going to have to do that sometime. Or at
I
least
think
I will.
I think the Guatemalan guys should have to do that.
For such a short guy, his consumption level is quite amazing.
Yeah, well, he doesn't put anything on.
He's a beast.
I put it all on.
Okay. All right. Nick, why don't you start it off? Tell us a stack that you're looking at. Give me something so that I can put it in my lineup tomorrow and piggyback off whatever you're doing.
All right, sounds good. At least you're honest about it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I'm going to say it right off the bat. Detroit is the hottest offense in the majors right now. They're going up against Brad Mills from Oakland, and I know Mills, he had a pretty good start the last time out, but that was against the Mets. Not sure that that's going to be happening against the best offense. So just a real quick drop there. If you're not stacking Detroit, something's wrong with you. So I think we need to go somewhere a little bit more, let's say, creative, if you will. One place that I would like to go is with Cincinnati. Cincinnati Reds have actually come back on. They've gotten a little healthier. I know they're going up against Kennedy and San Diego, but I think that there's some value to be had there. And guys like Jay Bruce and Billy Hamilton.
Oh, Billy.
And then Devin Massaraco, the guy needs to be in the All-Star game. He really does. So that's just my opinion, but I think the guy is a bona fide all-star this season. He had a stretch of, 6 games where he hit a home run. He's on fire. Throw him in. I mean, it's just
I feel like there's
fantastic.
a group of people, though, that, vote on who goes to the All-Star game, and they just kind of, click things and don't really know what.
The fans that you're talking about?
Yeah, the fans.
Yeah.
Because they always know. It's like Derek Jeter will play one game, and then he'll be in the All-Star game.
Okay, but Jeter should go to the All-Star game
No,
this year.
I'm not talking about – I'm just saying – it's like Kobe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't in it this year, I don't think.
No.
I know what you're saying, though. I get it. I agree. My
People
opinion
that
is
deserve to go, we've seen it time and time again, but
Stack the ballots.
I guess it gets the fans more involved, so I guess that's more exciting than somebody who just gets nicked and feels terrible for the rest of the year about not getting selected deservingly. But all right, Jason,
all right.
Who are you looking at for a stack?
I'm surprised Nick didn't bring up his team here, Boston Red Sox. I like them a lot tomorrow against the Cubs. They're at home. Going up against Edwin Jackson. They're hitting .318 against him in his career, 4 doubles, 5 homers. Jackson has allowed 18 runs in his last 4 games started, and he's 1-6 with a 6.7 ERA on the road.
Brutal.
He's got a .386 ERA at home, but I think you can stack the 3 through 6 hitters tomorrow for the Red Sox. Pedroia, Ortiz, Napoli, Pierzynski. Combined off Jackson, they have 3 doubles, 5 homers, and 15 RBI.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think Boston, this is an opportunity for them to turn the corner, to try to start making some moves in the standings. So, yeah, they need to keep the bats going. And they actually offer a very reasonable stack where Ortiz is only 7,500, and you know what he's capable of every night. I got to say, I'm going to take a chance on Mookie Betts. I'm going to just take a chance on him at the price. He's minimum, and there is a high ceiling there. You know that he's able to hit in AAA. He did get 1 hit in his first start. We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't think you're going to ride him. I mean, if he doesn't get it going, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it depends if he'll start against a right-handed pitcher. Since he is a righty,
True.
I'm not sure if he will. But were you listening to the game yesterday, watching it on ESPN at all?
No, I wasn't.
Our boy Shane Victorino called in to John Kruk.
Did he?
And he said, look at those leads that Mookie Betts gets. He's got like the biggest leads come first base. So
did he also
little tidbit for you.
Did he also mention?
He just sounds like a baseball player.
Did he also mention? Nah, man, I can't say it.
Lord Jonald.
I can't say it.
Big time in him.
We can't say it.
Nick, by the way, what is the total between you and Jonald right now?
I'm making a comeback here.
And he's on, wherever he is.
He's not putting in lineups.
Yeah,
He's not.
that's
vacation time. No, I like that. I'm okay with that. I have advocated for that, and I was actually shot down at one point by John. I was told that I had to put in a lineup on Saturday, which I think is absurd.
Well, it really ruins me and Jason's entertainment value.
Yeah, during the week, you got to put in a lineup in.
What are we, like monkeys for your enjoyment?
Yeah, like he can't stay up an hour late and make his lineup, please.
Come on.
What is this, a circus?
He's too busy with Zach Braff.
Give me a break.
Have Zach Braff do your lineup.
Start buying tickets to the show.
Now, one thing, I know we're still talking about the bats here, but Clay Buchholz at 4,500?
I'm happy you said that.
Are you looking at that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he had a pretty solid start last time out. 4,500, it doesn't get much worse than that. I think we know that he has been really bad this season, so you definitely have to exercise some caution there. But against Chicago, against the Cubs, I mean...
Aren't you kind of glad he went to the DL?
It couldn't have gotten worse. I'll say that.
He needed that?
Sure. It could not have gotten any worse for Clay. His price on StarFantasyLeagues.com dropped, I think, $10,000 over the course of his time off the DL earlier this season. It's bad. It was really bad. So, yeah, I'm hoping that it did turn it around.
Yeah. Another great pitching matchup is in Miami tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Burnett and Alvarez.
Alvarez
should be a very low-scoring game.
Surprising 2.32 ERA on the year for Alvarez. I mean, he's not K-ing everybody up, but wow.
Yeah. They actually just faced each other the last time out, so that was a 3-2 game, I think.
Yep.
You had Burnett, but
I love Burnett.
They both had a good chance at the win, I think, tomorrow.
I love Burnett. I'm just trying to figure out when and if Miami you can't pick against them anymore, because they do have a couple of bats in that lineup. I mean, are they just bad? Are they that bad?
Well, we talked about Cole Hamels going up against them. They got a lot of good right-handed bats, a lot of power in that lineup.
Yep.
They hit 3 homers off them, but they're all solo. They usually don't get a ton of guys on base. So
yeah. I love Burnett tomorrow. He's under 11,000 too, so good value there.
Yeah, you wonder where the Marlins would be at right now if they hadn't lost their big arm.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
All right, so let's continue on the pitcher train right now. Anybody else? What else are we looking at? Who's favorable in a ballpark? Who's got a good matchup against a crap team? I know you guys love to go up against those bats.
Yeah, I like James Shields tomorrow. Minnesota is really nothing special, and they've been pretty bad over the past month of the season. James Shields at about 12,000. He's got a great price for that matchup. He should be able to K up a few of the Twins there, so I like him for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of chud pitchers, I think. Tomorrow night.
There's some rough ones.
There's not a lot of superstar pitchers, on the docket tomorrow.
Yeah, you got like Mike Minor, Matsuzaka.
Our boy Wade.
Yeah, Wade Miley's
Wade
up
Frowney.
there. Yeah, I think there's a couple of good options to pick against.
Yeah, another guy I look at is Hisashi Iwakuma. He's had a couple rough starts his last two. He's given up 5 in his last 2 each start. But he's got a great matchup against Houston. Mm-hmm. It's in Houston, but I think that we talked about they strike out a lot. And
we've seen him. We've seen Iwakuma be pretty solid this year. He's gotten a couple of starts where he goes 7-8 Ks.
Yeah. A lot of guys sitting around that 13,000 range tomorrow. Yep. What about the guy that I like to call the faucet going up against San Diego, Mike Leake?
He had an amazing start. Amazing start last time. We were talking about it.
Wait, what? Against San Francisco?
Yeah.
Against San Francisco? I thought San Francisco dominated Mike Leake, man.
Yeah, Tyler Coven, Panda.
Yeah, dude.
John.
Big numbers.
That was a fail. That was a John fail.
That was John. Yes, that was John.
Donald was loving his BVP or what?
Got to give him a shot.
Yep,
Got to give him a shot.
Yes,
he was riding the BVP.
Dig for Donald. Got to get it while the getting's good. Otherwise,
that was a BVP demonstration right there, wasn't it? That was whatever. But I think that we can all benefit from that knowledge.
Yeah, we got to get our digs in now because otherwise we'll get that look that nobody gets to hear on the air.
Okay.
We get that look, and we know we kind of got to cool it off a little bit because Donald's hair is light on fire.
Starts waving his finger like Dikembe.
Right.
Not today.
Or just everybody in the World Cup.
No, Mike Leake is a good matchup against San Diego. Almost anybody is a good matchup against San Diego. They're pathetic right now. They're the bottom of the barrel. They're like the Cleveland Indians in Major League before they realized that they had talent.
Yeah, it's almost a minor league team there in San Diego.
It really is.
Leake had 12 strikeouts, which was his career high last time against the Giants, so he's definitely riding high.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that one's good. Like you said, there's a lot of guys right around that 13,000, so you really got to love your matchup. You really got to ride into that with some confidence. So.
And we got big-time Timmy Jim coming off his no-hitter.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what to think about that one because – I feel like he is one of those ones that could get blown up after throwing a no-hitter.
Yep. He's very hit or miss.
Kind of a sexy price, though.
11,000. It's not too bad.
We all know he can turn in a Studley performance.
Yeah, but we also know that he's been capable of putting up some pretty big duds this year, too.
He can be a Chudley or a Studley.
But against Marco Gonzalez, don't you think he got a good chance of getting the win here? He pitches a lot of Ks.
But he's not pitching against Marco Gonzalez. He's pitching against St. Louis.
Okay, that is fine, but don't you
think he can get the win? Is what you're saying?
I think he can get
the
win.
But I also think
he can get some good strikeouts, Nick.
I also think that this game could be a no decision for both pitchers, so that's not something that you really want to ride on.
All right, fine. I'm taking him.
Yeah, it's in San Francisco, so it's a great hitter's park.
That's true.
And Tim is growing the hair back along with his mustache.
He's getting the freak style going.
So he's mixing and matching.
We need a little bit more of that flair, some more character.
And he's got his Team USA jersey still probably. He's going to be rocking that tomorrow night.
That's good.
I can't wait to see all the tweets coming out about Team USA. There's got to be some good stuff coming out tonight from some of the big boys, Hulk.
I hope so.
Hulk Hogan.
I loved his promo for that.
Will Ferrell.
I loved it.
Going to be at the game.
I will bite the enemy. That was awesome.
Absolutely. And a little dig there for the Miami Heat as well.
Oh, that was great. That was a little nice little shot right in the side. It was good. There's one last place I got to look, and I can't believe nobody said anything about Texas at Baltimore. Nick Martinez is on the hill. Nick Martinez, we love to pick against him. I love it. I think Baltimore, they have a great shot at going long. Nelson Cruz, Nick Markakis, and Chris Davis are all going to be in my lineup.
I think this is you can stack both offenses in this game.
Totally.
You got T.J. McFarland. Is he actually going to get the start tomorrow night?
Yeah, that's what I got.
Baltimore. So
hidden gem. Maybe
AAA call up.
Hey, you never know what happens when a new arm comes in, and
it's true.
Well, yeah, Texas has a ton of right-handed bats too, so he's a lefty. You got to look at Beltre, Rios, a bunch of guys on Texas.
Totally. Yeah. I love Rios tomorrow. He's got a 4.69 WOBA versus left-handed pitchers. That's great. That's what you want.
I know how you love a good WOBA.
I love a good WOBA.
All right, coming up, we are going to be going over our plays of the day for pitchers and hitters. We're going to throw some value plays in there, reiterate our stacks, and close out the show. So we will be right back, and you are listening to the Star Fantasy League show on 105.5 The T.
WOBA.
You're listening to the Star Fantasy League show. Contact the StarFantasyLeagues.com guys via Twitter at SFL Show.
Guys, so good to be here hosting today with the both of you. Bright faces, never negative,
positivity,
never pouting, gloating. Well, a little gloating once in a while.
Well, once in a while, it's
but
fun.
The ultimate gloater is. I'm in the ultimate gloater's chair right now.
Yeah, you got to take the throne back. The king is in his throne.
feel good.
today.
I really need a crown for when I host.
Seriously?
Should we just go to Burger King and
Seriously?
get you like one of those crowns?
Yeah, definitely.
But they just give those away,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's
some
why we're
fries.
going to give
I'll
it
get
to
some
you
fries.
because it doesn't
Well,
cost
you might have to
anything.
buy a Happy Meal. But
Well, that's only a couple bucks.
yeah.
And then
You're gonna pay $3 for a paper crown?
I'll go to
Please.
CVS.
I would love
and I'll
to see
get
that.
some like glitter and stuff.
You're gonna
sprinkle it,
bedazzle that?
some glue. Yeah,
Yeah.
make it look all King
Then
Stanislaus.
you got to go
fresh.
see my wife and get a mani-pedi and actually spruce yourself up for this.
No, that would be our business partner Seth.
Oh!
He was looking
That's true.
fabulous with a capital F.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he keeps
weekend.
telling me to go get one of those. I'm not doing it anytime soon. I'd rather bite my nails. Okay, so why don't we go over your plays of the day, guys? Spit them out so that everybody can have something to look at for tomorrow. Maybe they'll use them, maybe they won't, but we're here to help. Jason, why don't you kick it off?
All right, my batter of the day for Tuesday on StarFantasyLeagues.com is going to be Big Papi, David Ortiz.
Pops, I love it.
We talked about the Red Sox up against the Cubs. In his career against Edwin Jackson, he's got 9 for 20 with a couple homers. Quietly, he's now 6th in the majors in home runs. He's got 19 on the year, which nobody's really talking about. He's got hits in 7 of his last 9, 3 homers in his last 7. My pitcher of the day is going to be Henderson Alvarez from Miami.
Nice. All right.
His numbers at home this year are Jose Fernandez-like, without as many Ks. He's 4-1 with a 1.44 ERA and a .98 WHIP. Gotta love that. Phillies are 28th against right-handed pitching. Value play of the day is Ben Zobrist for Tampa Bay up against Hiroki Kuroda.
Nice.
He's got a couple doubles, triple, 2 homers. He's hitting very well his past 5 games. He's got 2 doubles, 2 triples, and a home run. Short porch in Yankee Stadium. Gotta love that.
Absolutely.
Stacking Red Sox.
Stacking the socks. I love it.
Nick, give me the juice.
All right. My batter of the day is going to be Adrian Beltre. He has a 397 WOBA against left-handed pitchers, and we got the AAA call-up McFarland coming up for Baltimore. So I'm gonna put my money on him, but you got to put Alex Rios in because he has a 469 WOBA, which is fantastic against left-handed pitchers. So put both of them in your lineup. My value play is going to be Mookie Betts if he plays. Like Jason said, if he's going up against a right-handed pitcher and they don't want to use him yet for that, that's a possibility for why he wouldn't be in the lineup. But I really, honestly, I don't think there's any reason that he shouldn't be in the lineup, in my opinion, because this lineup can't hit, and they need somebody to step in, and they need somebody to add a little fire to the lineup. So pitcher of the day is going to be James Shields for Kansas City. He's got a great price at $12,000. Going up against the Twins, he's very capable of throwing a very good game, going deep into the game. And then I'm just going to say it, Detroit, they're on fire. Stack away. If you can fit them in, get them in. Miggy, V-Mart, JD, Martinez, just throw them all in there.
All right, I've got Mike Trout at 11,000 going up against Scott Carroll. .418 WOBA versus right-handed pitchers this season. We all know he's an absolute beast. It's a high price, but I'm taking him. We got Matt Joyce for Tampa Bay at 5,700. He's been pretty solid. I mean, that's a pretty solid value.
He was 5 for 6 the other day with a couple home runs. So there you go.
I'm going to chase that right down. And then my pitcher, I'm going with Tim Lincecum, Big Timmy Jim. He's
going with the freak.
I like him to follow up the no-no with another good one. We'll see if I'm right. I also just want to spite Nick, so hopefully he does well. And I'm also going to go with Detroit. How can I not?
All right.
You know how I feel.
So
Let's
you're
hear some
going to piggyback on my stack?
Yes.
Piggyback stack?
Didn't I say that I was going to do that?
Piggyback stack from Stanley.
So remember, if you tweet us your username at StarFantasyLeagues.com, we will give you $5 free, which is awesome. We got the World Cup coming up tomorrow. I think we'll be watching that game.
Yeah, well, we're definitely gonna be watching that game. If you're not watching that game,
We're
you
going to have
probably
our
just
laptops
walk out of
open.
your job.
Definitely going to have our laptops open. And if you're not picking Tim Lincecum tomorrow, then you're probably a darn fool, Nick. And we'll talk to you tomorrow, guys.
Nice shot.
Take it easy.